everyone and welcome to today's session where we are going to talk about segmentation for the bottom of the pyramid market. The bottom of the pyramid market comprises over 4 billion people globally, representing a significant yet underutilized consumer segment. According to the World Bank, over 700 million people live on less than $2.15 per day and nearly 3 billion survive on less than $5. Businesses aiming to serve this market must balance profitability with creating social impact. Effective segmentation is the key to understanding and addressing the unique needs of this diverse group. BOP market segmentation requires BOP market as a big market. It is not monolithic. Segmenting them involves understanding variations in income, geography, culture and access to resources. Below is breakdown of common segmentation strategies and some examples. First segmentation is income based segmentation. Income based segmentation divides market based on income level, allowing marketers to tailor products and services to meet the unique needs and constraint of each group. Here is an in-depth look at each segment with new examples. First one is low income group, which is earning between $3 to $5 a day. What are the characteristics of this segment? They are aspirational consumers seeking affordable, durable and quality products to improve their lifestyle. Second, they are value driven purchasing decisions, often focused on products offering functionality and style. We can take one example of Asian Paints Utsav line. What they did, Asian Paints launched Utsav paints at very affordable price for rural homeowners. These paints addressed common challenges like uneven walls, rough finishes and they also offered durability and aesthetics. What is the impact of that? Increased penetration in rural market, contributing to Asian Paints' dominance as a household name in the decorative paint industry, specifically for BOP market consumers. Second group under income based segmentation is subsistence group, someone earning $1 to $3 a day. What are their characteristics? This kind of customer focuses primarily on meeting basic needs such as food, healthcare and hygiene. Extremely price sensitive but open to innovation that directly improves their daily life. Let's see the example of GE Healthcare's portable ultrasound machines. What these machines did? GE introduced portable ultrasound machines which are priced at $30,000, much lower than the industry average of $1 lakh. These machines were lightweight, durable and designed for rural healthcare providers. The impact of it was they got expanded access to diagnostic imaging in developing countries. It significantly improving maternal health care in underserved areas. Another great example for understanding this segment is Amul's milk sachet. Amul, India's largest dairy cooperative, introduced a small sized milk sachet of 200 ml, which is priced just at rupees 5, which cater to low income families. This sachet enabled millions to afford milk on regular basis, improving nutrition in economically weaker section. And the third segment under income based segmentation is extreme poverty. People earning less than $1 a day. What are their characteristics? Primarily, they are focused on survival needs such as food, shelter and healthcare. Accessible solutions often require innovative pricing models or collaboration with governments and NGOs. Take an example of Tata Swachh water purifier. What Tata did? Tata introduced the Swachh water purifier priced at rupees 999, which requires no electricity or running water, which was targeting rural household. The impact of it is over 1.5 million units sold, providing clean drinking water to millions, especially in regions with contaminated water supplies. Another good example in day-to-day life was Nestle's Maggie's affordable pack. What Nestle Maggi did is, Nestle introduced Maggi noodles in the pack, which is priced just as rupees 5, and making it affordable meal option for extremely low income group. Its impact was very good. It became a staple in low income households, contributing to Maggi's massive market share in India and other emerging markets as well. Income based segmentation helps company in various ways. The first benefit is it innovates to address specific consumers' pain points for each income group. The second benefit is it uses low cost distribution strategies like sachet packaging or installment payments. The third benefit, it collaborates with local governments or organizations to penetrate hard to reach markets. Now let us go to the second type of segmentation, which is geographic segmentation. Geographic segmentation is a strategic approach where businesses tailor their products and services to address location specific needs. This method is particularly effective in diverse regions with unique demographic, cultural and economical factors. Below we will see few examples of geographic segmentation and their strategies. The first one is urban slums. Urban slums are densely populated area with limited access to basic infrastructure that often requiring compact low cost solutions. Affordable sanitation solution in Nairobi, Kibera slum Synergy introduced affordable and hygienic sanitation kiosks. These facilities not only addressed pressing hygiene issue but also incorporated waste recycling, producing organic fertilizers for local farming, thus creating a circular economy model. In 2023, the initiative have served over 1,40,000 daily users, which showcase its scalability and impact. Housing initiatives like in India, Exerbia developers focuses on constructing affordable housing in urban slums. Using prefabricated construction methods, they reduce cost and completion times, providing sustainable homes for thousands of customers. Their model addresses the projected urban housing deficit of 18 million units by 2030, as highlighted by the National Housing Bank. And then rural villages. Rural villages are the second segmentation in geographical segment. Rural areas often lack robust infrastructure, necessitating decentralized distribution and localized product. For them, required thing is tailored beverage offering. In rural Peru, Coca-Cola launched Coca-Cola Saborns, introducing beverages infused with local flavors like maracuya, which is known as passion fruit. This adaptation increased their market penetration with a growth rate of 8% annually in rural areas, tapping into the cultural preferences. Second thing is decentralized retail. In sub-Saharan Africa, Solar Sisters, a solar enterprise, trains local women as entrepreneurs to distribute solar powered lantern and mobile chargers in off-grid villages. By 2024, they have empowered over 6,500 entrepreneurs, illuminating more than 3.5 million households. Third segment of geographic segmentation is emerging urban centers. Emerging urban centers are mid-tier cities experiencing rapid growth, requiring innovative solutions to meet their rising demands. Transportation access can be one example. In Indonesia, Gojek expanded beyond major cities to smaller urban centers like Surabaya and Makassar by customizing their app to reflect local languages and integrating with traditional OJEC, which means motorbike taxis. They achieved 75% market penetration in non-metropolitan areas by 2022. Another good example is of affordable housing. In India, the Affordable Rental Housing Complex initiative targeted emerging cities or new segments. Builders like Shriram Properties offer units for migrant workers near industrial hubs. This project saw occupancy rate of over 80% within the first year of launch. Regional adaptation in services is also required when we are going for geographical segmentation. Healthcare access in remote areas can be one example of it. The Apollo Telemedicine Network Foundation in India bridges healthcare gaps in remote villages. By setting up telemedicine kiosks, they facilitated over 5 lakhs consultations annually, which provided affordable and accessible care for these regions. Second example is educational outreach. In Ethiopia, the Cambridge Educational Development Trust partners with local communities to establish e-learning hubs, which increase rural school enrollment by 40% over 5 years. By employing geographic segmentation strategies, business can effectively address localized challenges and the opportunities, driving both social impact and market growth. These examples underscore how innovative solutions tailored to specific geographies yield significant results in underserved and emerging markets. Now we will see the third type of segmentation in BOP market, which is known as need-based segmentation. Need-based segmentation is a very powerful approach to target BOP customers by identifying and addressing their specific requirement. This method helps create tailored products and services that cater precisely to unmet needs. So, how need-based segmentation work? First, you need to identify core needs. Analyze underserved areas or pain points in target market. Then second step, develop solution for those needs. Tailor offerings to resolve these needs effectively. Third step, monitor and scale. Use feedback to refine those solutions which you provided and expand their reach, right? Let's take example of Zikitsa. Zikitsa Healthcare provides affordable ambulance service to semi-urban and rural areas in India. By addressing the critical need for emergency healthcare accessibility, it serves the underserved bottom of the pyramid segment. Let's see what are different types of segments in need-based segmentation. The first, functional needs segmentation. This type focuses on customers' practical and utilitarian needs such as problem solving or performance efficiency. For example, emergency healthcare services like Zikitsa Healthcare addressing the need for affordable ambulances. So, that was your first of need based. The second need based segment is emotional needs segmentation. Targets the emotional or psychological benefit that customers are seeking such as safety, status or self-expression. We can take an example of insurance products. insurance products which are designed to provide peace of mind and financial security are targeting this kind of segment. The third need based segmentation is social need segments. Focuses on fulfilling customers' need for belonging, connection or social recognition in the community they aspire for. A good example can be social networking platform that enable people to connect with their communities. Strategies to engage bottom of the pyramid markets incorporating more details and recent data are very important to understand various strategy. The first strategy can be micro packaging for affordability. Micro packaging helps low income consumers afford premium products by selling them in small single use portions. This strategy works especially well in markets with limited disposable income. For example, P&G, Procter & Gamble's Downy fabric softener, these are available in sachet in Philippines, have made high quality fabric care accessible to low income households. This approach significantly increased product penetration in rural areas, where families typically earn less than $5 per day. Single-use sachet cost only a few cents, aligning with daily cash flow pattern for the BOP segment. If we try and connect it with some data insight, by 2023, over 60% of FMCG products are sold in developing nations were in small packages or in sachets, which underscore their importance in BOP segment. The second strategy is building local supply chains. Developing local supply chains create employment and ensures the sustainable distribution of product. To understand it, let's take an example of Ethio Chicken in Ethiopia, which is partnered with women entrepreneurs to distribute poultry feed and services to rural households. This partnership not only increased incomes for the entrepreneurs, but it also provided affordable, high quality poultry product to BOP market. Because of this, Ethio Chicken reached over 3.5 million households, improving rural livelihoods and empowering local women. This initiative also boosted productivity in the poultry sector, a critical source of protein for low income family. The third strategy is leveraging digital platforms. Technology plays a pivotal role in bridging accessibility gaps in BOP markets, particularly in regions with low infrastructure development, right. So, for example, we see Arifu. Arifu is a mobile based learning platform in East Africa. It delivers free agricultural tips via SMS. Farmers can access advice on crop cultivation, pest control and financial planning, directly impacting productivity and income for them. As of 2022, Arifu has reached over 1.5 million users across Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Digital innovations like this significantly enhance financial inclusion and resource accessibility in BOP markets. The fourth strategy is designing culturally relevant products. Products designed to align with local traditions and preferences have a higher likelihood of acceptance. Take an example of Natura. Natura, a Brazilian cosmetic company, developed skincare products using Amazonian plants like Andiroba. These products resonate with local traditions of using natural ingredient while promoting environmental sustainability. What was the environmental impact of Natura's effort? Natura's effort have preserved 1.8 million hectares of the Amazon rainforest. By sourcing raw materials sustainably, the company supports local communities while maintaining cultural relevance. Adopting such strategies helps companies build meaningful connections with BOP consumers while fostering long-term economic and social impacts. These examples highlight the power of innovation and empathy in addressing the needs of underserved markets. For further detail, you can also explore reports on micro packaging and digital inclusion from many organizations. Some of them are like the World Bank and development focused NGOs. Many such reports are available on the internet at multiple places. So, that is all for today's session. We have discussed segmentation for BOP market. We learned they can be segmented on 3 bases. First, income based segmentation, second, geographic segmentation, third, need based segmentation. We have also discussed different strategies which should be adopted by businesses when they are targeting BOP market in different segments. So, that is all for today's session. Thank you.